What's up, guys? For today's video, the question has been asked, where are good entry points if we miss the orb original breakout and there is no retest? And my answer to that is we can use EMAs and patterns to justify a good entry spot that is not too high of risk and help to manage that risk a little bit better. In this case, this is Friday's price action. We do get a decent retest finally later in the day here at about 2:25 Eastern, 1:25 Central right here. But let's say we miss this entry spot. Entry spot is going to be these two candles here on a denial of the 9 EMA. See here we have 407 plotted as a key level from previous days. But as you see in a downtrend, that 9 EMA is really going to be what we ride, and then pullback entries on both down and uptrends are going to be the 20 EMA. In this case, I would only use partial sizing on 9 EMAs just because they don't provide as much resistance or support as the 20 EMA does or key levels. So in this case, just take partial size here, get in on these candles, and we exit. So if we go back to, this would be Thursday's price action, we'll just use some orb levels. We have this one down here, not exact, and the high at 414.32. Not exact either, but that'll work. Okay. Actually, this is making me mad. All right, now we have our orb levels in yellow here. And in this case, we can use patterns, right? So we see this pattern set up here, this lower trend line, and it just goes right here. So our entry in this case, say, there's a lot of chop, we have no separation here on our EMAs, not a great spot for entry, but for our entry on this particular example would be underneath a trend line, 5-minute close underneath that bottom trend line here, which is this candle. We are added conviction by the fact that it closes both the 20 and the 9 EMA. We get a bearish cross here and it closes below VWAP, indicating price can move fast. We start to separate and there we go. Moves even faster. We get some nice moves down. Let's find an example of an uptrend. All right, so here on Wednesday, if we use the orb high here at 409.53, 409.55, cool. Oh, it is 409.55, and the low 407.61. Not going to worry about that too much here, as it is. We use the orb high in this case. So in this case, say we get chopped out here. I actually did get chopped out in this scenario. We reclaim our orb. This could be an entry spot here, but it's not exactly what we're looking for. That's okay. We don't get a next candle retest. Cool. And we're going to wait for a pullback, preferably to VWAP or the 20 EMA. In this case, we get a perfect entry spot on this reclaim of VWAP here. And then this candle right here closes back above the 9 EMA and the 20 EMA after confirming VWAP is now support. This is a very good entry spot that is not based off of our orb levels, and we get a nice push throughout the day. Another entry spot here would be on this little bit of a ascending a little bit of a bull flag here, but our entry spot would be on this right here. We get a 20 EMA touch, bullish engulfing candle, closes back above our 9 EMA, and as you can see, we get a nice push back up throughout the day. And then there's this candle here, which is another pullback to the 20 EMA, reclaim of the 9 EMA, and a push. This is later in the day, so most people aren't going to take this one if they're already done trading for the day or for whatever the reason might be. That's how I look for entries. I use EMAs and patterns once that orb level has been broken, and it's not always going to be retested. One thing I always want to see is separation between the EMAs and VWAP in order for price to move faster. In this case, the EMAs and VWAP stay separated throughout the day. The EMAs, if they start to get a little bit more congested like they do in this case, this could be a potential for reversal, but what we need are closes below EMA and VWAP, and then we also need these EMAs to drop back down below our VWAP before a confident in being able to say that the trend has flipped. In this case, our EMAs stayed above this VWAP the entire time. So we know that it's going to be a little bit harder to short here because there is a bunch of support. In this case, we also have a trend line break from this short-term trend line right here on that candle that reclaims. So it's a very high confidence, high conviction entry spot for calls. In that case, I would enter full size because I have the 9 EMA is above the 20 and above VWAP, and we do have separation as we can see this space in between VWAP and our EMAs. Another thing to note is we want to use the type of candle in order for entries. Candle type is very, very important. Bullish scenario, we're looking for bullish engulfing candles, long lower wick candles, hammer candles bouncing off of our EMAs and reclaiming EMAs in this case as this candle did. We're also looking for tweezer bottoms, which a tweezer bottom is this candle right here. Technically, it's not exactly at a support level I would be very, very confident in, but it is at the 20 EMA, which is a support level in this case. And then on the bear side, I'm looking for tweezer tops. We have one right here. Bearish engulfing candles. Don't really see one on here, which is all right. And I'm looking for those bearish and bullish patterns in order to entry. For bearish price action, I'm looking to enter on a break of the lower trend line. For bullish price action, I'm looking for a break of the upper trend line in order to enter, and I'm always going to wait on a 5-minute candle close. This helps to reduce the risk and take the gambling or guessing aspect out of our trading as much as we possibly can. A reason why I don't want to enter up here, say on this candle here, or even this candle that closes above previously determined key level, is because we have veered away from the EMAs, and most of the time, well, all of the time, in order to get a good push, price is going to need to find support. Support can be key levels, EMAs, VWAP, all that, but in a lot of cases in bullish runs, they use that 9 EMA as a support level. In bearish runs, it uses that 9 EMA as a resistance level. The 20 EMA stronger than the 9 EMA, and VWAP, because it is used by so many people, is stronger than both of them. But using these trends, using our EMAs, we can identify intraday trends, which is very, very helpful, not only for entries and exits, but also determining the size we are going to take on our plays.